All right, so the first thing we need to cover is the difference between a sequence and a series before we talk about arithmetic sequence. So a sequence is a list of numbers in a special order. A series is a sum of an infinite sequence. So we're just looking at arithmetic sequence for today, which is a list of numbers, and we're going to find a term. So maybe we want to find, like in this one right here that we're going to look at in a minute, we want to find the 21st term. Okay. So first of all, we need to be able to identify the pieces of the equation. So this is a basic explicit arithmetic sequence. This is the formula that we're going to be using a lot because this one lets us find any term we want. So to start with, this a sub n means the nth term. A sub 1 just means the first term. And the other important one is way down here, the d is the common difference, how much it changes between each two terms. Okay, so let's test it out. So in this sequence, I have 11, 8, 5, 2, and we could subtract and come up with the next term, and then the next one, and then the next one. However, if we want the 21st term, that's going to be exhausting to write 20 terms to get there. So we're going to use our formula. So to use that formula, we need to know a few things. First of all, we need to know what the first term is. So a sub 1, in this case, this one right here, so that's 11. That's my first term. And then from that to 8, and from 8 to 5, each one of those I'm going down 3. So it's minus 3, which means that d, or my common difference, is 3. The only other thing we need to know is which term we're looking for. So we're looking for the 21st term. That means that n is 21. N is which term we're looking for. All right, now we're ready to plug everything in. So I have a sub n, which just means the nth term, is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. This is just distribution. We'll talk about that later. So a sub n, we're going to say a sub 21 equals a sub 1 is 11 plus n minus 1, n is 21, so 21 minus 1, times d. D is 3 in this case. All right. This just means the 21st term. So this is just a label. We're going to simplify over here. So we have 11 plus, this is 20 times 3, which would give me 11 plus, oh, sorry, that was negative 3. It's going down 3. So that would be plus negative 60, or you could just write minus 60. That's a bigger eraser than I meant to. So we have 11 minus 60, which is going to give us negative 49, which makes sense because it's going to continue to go down into the negative numbers. All right, so that's our answer. Our 21st term is negative 49. Let's look at another example. We can write both explicit and recursive formulas. Right now we're just working on explicit. So explicit is what we worked on to start with. And let's say we just want to find the 6th term. So I'm going to look for the 6th term. So in this case, that would mean n equals 6. Our a sub 1 is 20. And the common difference between each one of these is 4. We're going up 4. Okay, so I'm going to use my formula. I have a sub n, or a sub 6, equals a sub 1, we said was 20, plus n minus 1 is going to be 6 minus 1 times d, which in this case is 4. So I have 20 plus 5 times 4. So I have 20 plus 20, which is 40. Right? And most of the time we're going to use this one because we can find whatever term we wanted. So if I want to know the 102nd term, I could plug 102 in here and find it. But every once in a while we're going to use the recursive form. All this allows us to do is find the next term. So this is really easy to use, but it's not always as user-friendly. Okay, because to get the 100th term, I'd have to know the 99th term. So all this says is a sub n, the term we're looking for, so a sub 6, is equal to a sub n minus 1, a sub 5. Well, this is the first term, this is the second term, this is the third term, fourth, fifth. So this is my fifth term. So a sub 5 would be 36 plus a d. Well, my d here is 4. 36 plus 4 is 40. So obviously, if you just need the next term, this is the quick, easy way to do it. However, if I asked you for the 1000th term, this formula would be very manageable, whereas this one, you would have to work your way up to 1000, which would be incredibly cumbersome. All right, so let's try another practice one. We want to find the 52nd term. If I don't know the 51st term, I don't want to use the recursive. So I'm going to use the explicit. So that means I need to know what a sub 1 is. So we've got a sub 1 is right here. That's negative 38. I need to know what n is. Well, n is 52. And I need to know what d is. So how much it's changing each time from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. It's going down 7 each time. So d is negative 7. Now I'm going to go through here. A sub n, so that's the 52nd term, is equal to a sub 1 is negative 38 plus n is 52 minus 1 times d. D is negative 7. So simplifying there, I have negative 38. And then here, this is 50 plus 51 times negative 7, which I can put all on my calculator, and I'm going to get negative 395. Okay, so we definitely wanted to use the explicit form that time because otherwise we would have had to write out 51 terms. We don't want to do that. All right, so this one asks us to find the explicit formula. So it just wants a general formula for how to find the nth term. So we're just not plugging it in because we don't know what n is. So we do know what a sub 1 is. We do know what d is. Each time it's going up 9. Okay, so I have a sub n equals negative 18 plus n minus 1 times d, and d is 9. Now we are just going to distribute, but if this bothers you having it behind it, because we're not used to seeing it that way, just rewrite it so it's in front of the parentheses. 9 times n minus 1. Okay, so that gives me negative 18 and then plus 9n minus 9 when I multiply. And then combining like terms, my final answer is a sub n equals, bring that down, 9n, and then negative 18 minus 9 is going to give me negative 27. That is my formula, and I could use that to find any term I wanted. If I needed to know the 10th term, I'd plug in 10, multiply it by 9, and subtract 27, and it would give me my term. All right, over here it wants us to find the recursive formula. So remember, recursive is just the a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus D. And all we know in this case is the D, how much it's changing each time. Well, this one is just going down 2 each time. So I'm going to put plus -2, or we can erase that and just put -2. And that's all there is to that one. There's nothing else I can do to simplify it unless I know which term I'm looking for. So this is done. Once again, much easier to write, super simple to use, but you have to know the term before to get to the next one. So this one is the one that we're going to use the most. All right, let's check out some word problems. So after a knee surgery, a trainer tells you to return to your jogging program slowly. He suggests jogging 12 minutes each day for the first week. So what that tells me is I'm starting out at 12. A sub 1 equals 12. Each week thereafter, he suggests that you increase, this is how much it's changing by, 6 minutes per day. So D is 6. How many weeks will it be? I want to know which term in the sequence before you're jogging 60 minutes per day. So I want to know when the whole thing's going to equal 60, which is kind of weird. So I actually want to know when A sub n equals 60. So start by writing our formula. We have A sub n equals A sub 1 plus n minus 1 times D. A sub n, we said we want to know when it's 60, equals A sub 1 is 12 plus n minus 1, n's what we're looking for, which term, times D. D is 6 in this case. So distributing here, 6 times n is 6n. 6 times -1 is -6. Remember, if it bothers you, write the 6 in front. That's fine. Okay. Here, 12 minus 6, those are like terms on the same side. I can combine those and just get 6. Subtract the 6, and I will get 54 equals 6n. Divide by 6, and we get n equals 9, and this is weeks. So we were looking for. All right, and that one's done. Next one, a theater has 60 seats in the first row. So that's my A sub 1. 68 in the next, 76 in the next. So I have a sequence, 60, 68, 76. So it's going up by 6 each time. Or sorry, 8. 60 to 68 is 8, and then 68 to 76 is 8. Ooh, 26 is in there. All right. And our increasing pattern. So it's going up +8. If the theater has 20 rows of seats, how many seats are in the 20th row? It wants to know what is the nth term, or the 20th term. So when n equals 20. Just to know what the 20th number in this sequence would be. So we're going to go A sub 20 equals A sub 1, in this case is 60. Look over here if you need the formula again. Plus n in this case is 20 minus 1 times 8. So that gives me 60 plus 19 times 8, which is 60 plus 152, which gives us 212 seats for an answer. All right, cruising right along, 2 more. This one says, Brian gets a starting wage of $15 and an annual raise of $1.50 per hour. What will be his hourly wage during his 10th year? So A sub 1, we need to know, is 15. D is changing by $1.50. And we want to know the 10th term. So we're going to start. A sub n equals A sub 1 plus n minus 1 times D. A sub 1 here is 15 plus 10 minus 1 times $1.50. So making sure we simplify in our parentheses, that's 9 times $1.50. Or you can just put 1.5. And that is going to give me 15 plus 13.50, which will give me 28.50 per hour. And that's money, so I'm gonna put a label there. There we go. And we've got one more to look at real quick. So starting May 1st, a new store will begin giving away 500 posters as a promotion. Each day, 4 posters will be given away. So they're starting, A sub 1 is 500. They're giving 4 away, so they're going down 4 each day. So we have our A sub 1 and our D. The store is open 7 days a week, so we're open every day. How many posters will the store have left May 14th? Well, that is 14 days later. So that means that N is 14. So we're going to go back to our formula and say, okay, what will we have on the 14th day? What is A sub 14? A sub 1, we said was 500, plus N is 14 minus 1 times D is negative 4. So then we have 500 plus 13 times negative 4 is negative 52, or you could just put minus 52. And that leaves us with 448 posters on the 14th day. And that's my final answer. All right. Start working on your assignment. Let me know if you need any help.